morning. It's Wednesday, August 31st, 2022. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. I'm RisenLadyHeathen. Hey, asshole, what's up, Raise? Our show from
I'd like to note that
Millennial
Cat doesn't get sighed at for interrupting you. And what did I say before? Testosterone and a robot heart. That's what separates us.
We have a boomer,
And not just Terminator, and then you're all going to give me $1.
And not just any boomer. We have Mr. BoomerRex himself.
Yeah, good evening.
You two easily breathe politics, and I'm still learning. That's 3 unique perspectives we share along with the facts from our literal round table. Sadly, I don't have my Tucker rant ready. It's taking more time than I hoped, but I want to do a very thorough job and make sure I have all his words down so there's no bullshit about me taking something out of context. And I want to double check all his facts, especially the ones that seem the most innocuous. In any case, I'm hoping to have it ready tomorrow. And if not, I should have enough to at least start the discussion. So worst case scenario, we'll do part 1 tomorrow. But instead, we have prepared a couple of other things to shout about later for Burn It Down Wednesday. So let's dig right into our headlines. Surprise package!
Yeah, so I'm sure it happens all the time, right? But in a little village north of New York City, an unexpected package was delivered. The addressee opens it, and it's a box full of lizards.
Surprise!
Yeah.
Mine now.
So anyway,
Lizards aren't cheap.
the police took the, yeah, it's true, they're probably $100 a piece.
Yeah.
Oh, or more depending.
Go catch
You can
eBay.
get some pretty, chameleons can get up to $200, $300, $400.
Okay.
Bearded dragons now are getting pretty expensive because everybody wants them, especially if you get a more exotic version.
And you know
of
these ones are
them.
hardy because they survived being shipped once.
That's true.
They
Yeah.
ate all the quitters.
I just
No,
want
if I
bearded
randomly
dragon.
got a package of lizards, I'd be like, new pets! I'd
Yeah.
keep the ones I wanted and then go across the street and offer the rest to,
Yep. Anyway,
bee
the police
whisperer.
department took them and safeguarded them. They're trying to figure out who the hell actually wanted them. And they've now been sent to a little animal sanctuary, which will hang on to them and see if they can figure out where the hell they were supposed to go.
Fair.
So, anyway, I thought that was kind of fun.
That is cool. All right. U.S. thinks Russia is short on military personnel. What's up here?
Yeah.
So this is the official interpretation. It's the military is suffering from a severe manning shortage in Ukraine. We believe that the Russian Ministry of Defense is seeking to recruit contract service members and to make up for those personnel shortages, including by compelling wounded soldiers to re-enter combat and acquiring personnel from private security firms and paying bonuses to conscripts and criminals. So, anyway, oh, shucks. Gosh, it's not going your way, Pooty boy. You might want to find your way out of that. So, anyhow. So, and the other half of that is, speaking of the counteroffensive in Ukraine, Europe has decided they're not going to do the cooperative visas with Russia.
Excellent.
So now if you want a visa to enter any part of the EU
One of the
from
good
Russia,
countries.
you will have to have a formal visa from each of the places that you are going, which will take quite a while.
Yep.
And the Russians are saying they warned the EU of consequences.
Ooh, consequences
Yeah.
from Russia. We know that means demonstrations on the way.
Said violation or circumvention
them.
or withdrawal by the EU from the visa facilitation agreement won't be without consequences. We will decide for ourselves whether the measures will be symmetric, asymmetric, or something the EU does not expect.
Okay.
What? You're going to tell them they can't come to Fucktardistan? Oh, yeah. Why would anybody want to go to Russia? And that's...
And things are cheap, I'm guessing, but
Oh, well, not anymore.
right? Yeah, no. We sent you an NBA
Galloping.
player.
Oh,
and
no,
you
no.
walked
Part
around.
of Tucker's rant was how great Russia's doing, so I'm curious to see where
Oh, yeah.
those numbers are.
No, that's how I know his thing's bullshit, and it's gonna be fun to watch you take it apart because it actually runs better if you run it backwards, at where he's at all of his conclusions,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest is just fracturing out to support that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, The fact that he does it quickly and all the rest.
Think about doing the analysis that way if you're not already doing it. You say, okay, so what conclusion, right, is Tucker Carlson after in this segment? Here's the conclusion.
Oh yeah, that
So-
was exactly how we planned on doing it. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
Yeah,
I love
no, we all are mentally, I feel, on the same wavelength when it comes to how we approach things like this. So
Yeah.
I think that works out in our favor. You're gonna love this, Boomer. I promise. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna make it a good show.
Excellent.
All right, recruitment in military in the U.S. is down.
Well, and the bigger part of that article was that reports of sexual assault have increased substantially.
Whoa, that's fucked up. Because it was pretty bad before, but the fact
This
that it's
is reports.
Yeah.
This may be a good thing.
Oh,
They don't know is the point.
Yeah.
And so we're getting this article that says, it's been a 9% in reports of sexual assaults in the Navy. The Army was around 9%. The Marines were around 2%, and which is what got me thinking about reports. So the Army's had this. The military's had this problem for a while, and they've been trying to deal with it.
Yep.
And so, to do the Trumpy, well, testing makes people sick. No, you witless cocksuckers. Testing tells you how many people are already sick.
yes.
Yep.
It's the same thing with reporting of sexual assault.
Yep.
Right? I guarantee you that in 2006, when they got really worried about this, that virtually not, we know in public, less than a third are ever reported, and that number may be as low as a tenth.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, because in the military, if you run your
Absolutely.
mouth about that shit, you get labeled and you're fucked
Yep.
forever.
Yeah.
Your entire military service will
So
be
the military's been
blacklisted.
trying to fix that. And the fact that reports are up may indicate that they're making a tiny little bit of progress.
that
Yep.
people are feeling more
So-
They're at least
comfortable
getting more
coming forward.
attempts at the ball.
Yeah. So
And you said the Navy was the highest
the
uptick.
Army and Navy were both around 9% uptick.
Okay, so that's really good because I know.
Yeah, right after the Marine Corps, and I go talk about something behind a shed or somewhere else where no one can be embarrassed, and because if you're just making them eat shit, you've kept the reporting down, then fuck you.
Yeah.
Because the Marine Corps is the one where I got, one of our early shows covered this, and our answer was all women need to report to the dining facility for all-day training evolution of advanced, frightening hand-to-hand combat.
Oh yeah.
And
But
I'm going to order them to report it.
I do want to say that in the Navy, when I was in the Navy, they took that shit very seriously.
Okay.
They tried to.
I actually lost a commanding officer who got kicked out, and I got a new officer because of sexual allegations. Not that it was wrong, but that it was a minor. Because they
That
did
makes it
18-year-old.
wund wrong and,
yeah, no, it was really wrong,
and
but
in a chain
she
of
was okay
command,
with it,
and
so it was really weird, but it
That's
wasn't
cool.
okay.
There's rules. They broke them.
No,
Bye-bye,
okay,
everybody.
I'm not saying whatever, but I'm happy the way that it was handled is what I was saying. That was
I have
my-
at times supported the congressional legislation that was going to take away the military's right to conduct Article 32 hearings, which is the probable cause phase, because the military has so not covered itself in fucking glory on this. When I agree, not having it reported makes it hard for them to get a hand on it.
Yeah.
Now we'll see what they do. My inherent distrust of the Marine Corps' answer is that idiot thing they let come out saying how untrained boys shot better than trained Marine women. And
Yeah.
oh, both fucking shit.
I thought the all-time high score from the
Oh,
Marine
for
Sniper
goddamn
Corps
sure.
belonged
I'm
to a
sure.
woman.
Yeah, women are much
But
better snipers and
I'm
and
saying
air
this was when they were
fighter
talking
pilots
about
as well.
integrating
Yeah.
women in, and we're saying that, well, women just aren't as good because what? No. So first off, somebody signed off that those women were taught how to fire a weapon, and I now have proof they fucking aren't. So that's a shithead who needs
I
to
think it's
own
more
it.
likely
Fuck.
you got proof somebody fucking lied.
Yes. No, I'm sure.
So-
But that's where the inherent, automatic distrust comes from, aside from the fact that Marine Corps were born in a bar. get to give you shit about that anytime I want.
All right. There should be consequences.
So I just found this statistic amusing. So you know the chief executive of Starbucks, right?
Yep.
Who's doing all this union busting stuff and
Yep.
yada, 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 yada. Okay, so he's $940 million richer than he was at
Right.
the beginning of the coronavirus.
Most of a billion.
pandemic. Yep. I'm sorry. I'm kind of at the point where I want to wonder, how many folks need to just not go to Starbucks for a while
This is what I'm
to
saying.
get this turkey put on the street?
Yep.
So-
Don't drink Starbucks. It's horrible coffee at snooty prices.
I think I've been to Starbucks. I could probably
Green tea's
count
alright.
on my fingers the number of times I've been to Starbucks.
I used to go to Starbucks because there was one on the right-hand side of the road
Yep,
on the way
absolutely.
home.
I used to occasionally
one
go
of
there for
the-
their hot chocolates.
One of the things, if you got a little spot award for being on some, Six Sigma exercise or whatever, one of the things you could buy with it was a Starbucks ticket.
And yeah.
It was like, $25 a shot. Well, that's, for me, that's like 6 espressos or something like that. And I would just use them till I was done. I never paid for one.
Yep.
Yeah,
I have
often-
ever stopped in Starbucks in an airport because I like getting a double espresso
Oh, yeah.
and so forth. But
No, I'd go to Dunkin's before I'd go to Starbucks any day.
I'm just saying, yuppies, stop buying coffee from things that are fucking bad right here at home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or stick your head in especially you can do it in the airport really good. Stick your head in the Starbucks in the airport and ask them if they're union shop.
Yep.
And if they're not, turn on your heel and walk away. So,
Huh, I never thought of that.
it'd be fun to do.
Oh, you could probably Google it.
I don't want to Google it. I want to ask them. I
Yeah.
want them to see somebody say,
Want their
are
boss
you
to
a
do it.
union
Yeah.
shop? No?
I want a shift supervisor.
that's-
Oh, and then what you can do is you
Oh,
can
I like
go
that.
online and give them 1-star rating, not a union shop, very unhappy, will never go there, period.
No, it pissed me off.
Yep.
And the next, there should be consequences. Alina Habba, who's an attorney for Donald Trump, slammed the Department
For
of
now.
Justice for enforcing mundane statutes like the Espionage Act. I said, where does he get these? And these are worse than the Fox Noise chicks.
Yeah.
So, anyway, airhead du jour, what can I tell you?
Fair. Where are you? Because I'm totally lost.
I was in the second half of There Should Be Consequences.
No, the filings, it's the worst part of where
Oh, well.
Trump's gonna go is this is all he can get.
Yeah,
Right? It had been bottom of the barrel people because everyone knew he was a crook before this.
but next up is Just Fuck 'Em.
Oh, okay. Then while you guys were running your mouths talking
how
to
we
me
did.
while we were sitting outside in the near dark,
missed one.
I missed the.
Huh.
I wrote down there should be consequences, and then I thought I was writing down what was under that, except it turns out I was writing like under just fuck 'em. So,
Oh, okay, fine.
so that was my B. So I apologize.
Just
So
getting fucked.
now we're going on to just fuck 'em. That's why I was sitting there staring at you like you got 10 heads because I had no idea where you were.
Touch the fucking nader.
My brain was just. This doesn't make any sense at all. Okay,
Yep.
sorry. I see what I did. My B.
So it's really cool. Bunch of the biggest stars at Fox News
Yes.
are being deposed in the Dominion lawsuit, right? So there's several of them that are named specifically. Sean Hannity, Bartiromo, whatever the hell that clown's name is.
Yeah. So like
Um,
all of their big people are in trouble.
Yeah, that's $1 billion lawsuit.
Yep.
That could be fun to watch.
Yeah. No, I hope that they get fucked. What I would really love is to see America kind of go the European route and say, if you're not doing news, you can't call yourself news. If these are not facts that can be checked, double checked, and triple checked, it is not news, and you are not allowed to call it news.
Yep.
You can only call it opinion.
I'm all for it. We would need to regulate some shit, but we used to be able to do that. America used to be a country that could say, this is a thing that is intolerable to do to Americans. Here's the new rule.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had to write this one down too, but turns out.
Yeah, no, because a lot of these Fox News actually owns a lot more than
Oh, yeah.
anybody wants to discuss when it comes to your news and even your local news. A lot of it's owned by
Well, they spent the 90s
People.
building an infrastructure to do this.
Yeah.
Right, and the left isn't interested in this. Right, there have been attempts to make a left-leaning whatever. The left isn't interested in stuff that agrees with it as much.
Yeah.
Right, they want to know the news. And if there's what they want is good opposing theory, and that has just gone out the window.
well, part of the problem is that Republicans have gone so far
Into emotional
crazy
satisfaction, not
yeah, emotional
intellectual
and
satisfaction.
that
Fantasy Island.
it's hard to actually sort out what the actual complaint is
Yeah.
from their ramblings.
Right.
So when you're trying to do news that is appropriate and covers both sides, it's a little ridiculous because you'll go through the other side and be like, this is just trash.
Yeah.
There's no information here. None of this is true, and it's not even worth fucking mentioning, which is part of the reason why I feel like a lot of people think that our show is very unbalanced because
We're not
there's
going to
nothing on
invent
the
the
other
other side.
side.
I'm not going to serve the fucking ball for them. I will occasionally when there's like position to be taken or something else, because again, I enjoy politics. It's a full contact sport. It should leave ruined people because someone made them a joke on television so bad that one time that every time someone says their name, someone else in that room goes, "Have you seen the fucking video though?"
Yes.
Yeah.
No, and I think that part of the problem is that Republicans have absolutely no reasonable talking points. And anyone who tries to come at me with Republican talking points, what
can't.
are you babbling at me? This doesn't even make sense. Do you even understand where this comes from? Well, no, but I know blah, blah, blah. Okay, but this is the reality of that situation. I've done the research. Did you? Well, no, but they say blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, that's not the actual research. That means nothing. That's just bullshit. Shut up. Like, it's frustrating.
I read it somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, I've read a couple of articles that suggest strongly that Trumpism is a mental disease.
Yeah,
So
because it fucking
anyway,
borderlines on exactly that. But anyway, let's move on to the next piece of this.
so anyway, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and the State Elections Board have subpoenaed one of the folks who was working to get the election tampering in Coffee County. This is where they tried to get the Trumpisi access to the voting machines and so forth. So, hey, Brad, I understand you're really scared that the Trumpies are going to come for you, but this is not the way to do it. So, anyhow, we'll see where it goes. Now, if I were her, I'd send them a digital file with 6.4 terabytes of everything that was on my computer that I was willing to part with, which would be quite a bit, actually. And let them search through it. So you got everything that was there, whatever, have fun. So, anyhow, I just, this really looks like witness intimidation.
Yeah.
And trying to intimidate the news folks not to report it. And again, I'm sorry, Brad, that I'm sorry the Trumpies are going to hate you, but oh well.
Yeah, you got to do what you
You
got to do.
do your goddamn job. You swore an oath.
Yep. No one said it was going to be easy.
It kind of a little bit disgusts me how those oaths that people swear mean nothing anymore to people.
Well, they
It's
certainly
just
don't appear to
fucking-
mean anything to Trumpies.
Words mean things, people. We keep saying this on the show. Words mean things. You can't just fucking A, ignore them, or B, try to make up your own twisted version of what those words mean. They
Yep.
fucking mean things. You can look them up in the Webster goddamn dictionary. Shut up.
No, but to have someone call me a communist and say that I should stop worrying about things like the Patriot Act and various other stuff because it's for the greater good, and like, what the fuck? You can't
Wait, how did
be
you
on all
how
the
did you
sides,
go
you
there?
motherfucker.
That doesn't even make sense.
If I'm a communist, I get to use greater good bullshit. What the fuck?
No, I just,
fucking
oh Lord.
Yeah, no, this is just.
And there have been several recent videos of protesters who came for some LGBTQ event and were, in the little cosplay things and shouting and so forth. And you listen to what they're shouting. And I don't understand how the LGBTQ supporters who were there and were challenging them could keep from laughing in their faces.
Yeah.
But,
Well, because a little bit, you gotta take that shit seriously when they're yelling it at you. You have to,
Why?
because they fucking mean
Because
it.
they've won in the past.
They mean it, and they've won, and they continue to
It
fucking
is truer
win
and more in line with American history.
Laughing
until
point.
Democrats sort out their shit, and start fucking winning. None of this matters.
No, but again, I'm saying when you're there on the street, point and laugh. And again, these are red states.
If you want to get
You
shot,
can,
sure.
You can have an armed backup.
Oh yeah, isn't there? Aren't we talking about something worse? Anyway,
I don't think so.
no. I might have read something earlier about something similar that.
So anyway, I'm so sick of the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Boomer Rex is about damn time. Tell me the good news.
This one I saw and I realized,
You know how bad our fucking show is that we have to put the reward in the goddamn middle? Like, we don't get a reward at the end because it would just be skeletons.
No, we
by
give
the
them a
end.
special. We give them a special happy thing or a funny thing at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
They get a reward in the middle, and then at the
I mean,
end,
the
they
whole
get
show's a
the bit.
reward and whatever, but yeah, no, I was just thinking. Anyway, sorry.
okay. So,
Although I do feel like we need to work on our comedic timing. Anyway.
so I saw this and I realized, actually, that's a good idea for a couple of reasons, and we should have done it a long time ago. And we probably did, and I just wasn't aware of it. The rapid deployment of FBI cybersecurity experts is headed to Montenegro. They're going to investigate a massive coordinated attack that was conducted on them, which has been attributed to the Russians, but we're sending the right folks to
Yep.
find out. And half the fun there is that the Russians have now fired their cyber weapon in public,
Mm-hmm.
and we can go see what's there.
Yep.
So, or we're going to get there and find out we should have brought the Windows 98 toolkit. So,
I'm betting on a Windows 98 or Windows 95. Those are my
fine.
bets.
If it's useful to computers, it's available.
yeah. No, but I'm saying it may not be their latest and greatest threats, but let's go have a look.
Right.
And this makes Montenegro feel good, and it's good for them. We will actually wind up helping them.
We get to meet Colonel Husitz of the
And-
Montenegrin whatevers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's all.
This is
And we
gonna
may
be
get to
good.
see some stuff when we used to play games with the Russians, right? We never used the radar tricks.
No.
We used all the standard old timey shit.
Well, yeah. Why are you going to give away?
Just keeps everybody's competency at the basic level.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's what it's supposed to do. If your standard isn't high enough, raise your standard. But
Like all the fast attack boats driving around with a noise enhancer. So,
But technically, we give them two good things because now we're going to discuss dumbass of the day, which is always fun.
okay, fair.
It's always fun. Who's our dumbass of the day? Tell me.
so Gavin McInnes, who's one of the he's one of the Proud Boys founders.
He's a proud daddy. Daddy of the Proud Boys? Anyway.
If you young father, is that an incestuous relationship? I don't know.
Of the Proud Boys? Almost certainly.
Anyway, so he did a
Certainly
he posted
overly
a
interested in the masturbation habits of a lot of men.
Oh, I'm sure he's
Oh
yelling
my
about that
God.
too.
So anyway, he posted a video where he says, he moves off camera and it says, "We're shooting a show. Can we just do this another time?" And then left an hour of dead air. And this was interpreted by all his
Literally,
supporters
wasn't the
that he
video
had
like
been arrested.
an empty seat?
An empty chair. Well, whether he's there or not, it's a video of an empty seat. The question is how much noise does the seat make?
I love you.
Thank God. So, oh,
That's
jeez.
good.
Anyway, Folks have kind of checked around, and there's no record of an arrest for him or whatever.
That's all the more
And
thing.
so now his Proud Boys is
Ninjas.
turning on him. And in particular, I just want to quote one that said, Gavin McInnes has never spent a day in prison, fumed Matthew Walker, Tennessee Proud Boys leader. 7 of my friends are in there because of him.
Oh!
Yeah, you got used. It's a grip.
Yeah, why are you
Trump
surprised?
used you. Trump's not in prison with you. You got used. You got used like a $3 whore.
Let's embrace the fact that they're at the party. Not worry so much that they came late to it.
Yeah.
Now, remember this the next time someone else is telling you that all these bad things have happened to you and they're going to tell you who did it and they're pointing you at poor people.
Yeah.
If they're telling you poor people are the problem, they're not on your side.
I just want to say, if you are somebody who is part of any sort of a group who's trying to tell you, what you should do sexually or who you should be or whatever,
Dip.
we here at BoomerRexTonight don't care what you do in your free time with people who are willing and with yourself.
I think several of you are masturbating listening right now. Good job.
Enjoy whatever feels good to you, as long as you're not hurting other people. We don't give a fuck what you do, who you do it with, when you do it, or why you do it.
I only care about
Fucking-
the sex lives of people who are trying to sex with me.
respect you and your privacy and your lack of privacy if you want to be open about what you love. We here at BoomerRexTonight support your sexuality, whatever it may be, and whatever beautiful, ridiculous, crazy, or otherwise, you do you. So when other people try to tell you to not do you, always question that. Question why. Why does it matter? Because the answer is always going to be, because I said so.
Yeah.
And remember when your parents used to tell you that and you never understood why? And then as a parent you started saying it to your fucking kids? Well,
I didn't
Don't
actually
do
grow up with
that.
that, so I don't know. But,
The other people, I'm sorry, go ahead.
nothing, go.
I was going to say the other people you should be suspicious of are those who come to you advocating that you conduct violence because the FBI executed a dead legal search warrant on a criminal.
yeah.
Yep.
Don't trust those people.
So,
Or
the oth-
suggest you ought to do an armed attack on the government of the United States of
Don't
America.
fucking do
Because those
violent
people are
things.
grifting you.
Yeah.
They're using you. You look at your leadership, ain't none of them on charges,
Yep.
ain't none of them in jail.
Huh?
And look what they did to
You're
you.
gonna drive the little grifty
And what has it
gang,
cost
and
you?
you're gonna fucking oil
Yeah.
the treads.
But you go give
They don't care.
you go give the orange fool some more
Yeah.
more of your money.
No, it's all the same stuff they
'Cause
use.
why would a billionaire need money?
Yep. Wasn't that the whole point? But
Yeah.
oh, that's right. He's not a billionaire, but
No.
TV pretended he was.
No, he's
Because it
broke.
was
It's a
profitable too.
fucking joke. But anyway,
So
But he likes your money just fine.
I
every
just wanted
capitalist does.
to remind you that we here at BoomerRexTonight support whatever your lifestyle is, as long as it is not hurting other people.
Yep.
End of discussion.
And,
One
it's-
hopes.
All right.
and I will say between adults.
Yeah, fair.
Oh yeah, 100%. But anyway, I
Like,
consider
everything else would not.
that's hurting somebody,
Yeah.
right? If you are doing something to
I
somebody who
understand. I
cannot
just-
give
Baby's
There are a
consent.
lot of
Give
people who
consent.
don't seem to understand that one.
Hey, libertarians, what are you doing over there?
Yeah, consent's
Weird
important,
motherfuckers.
people, and people under a certain age cannot give consent. Keep that in fucking mind. Okay, moving on. Please let that not be a train.
So anyway, McConnell's super PAC has abandoned about $8 million worth of TV, radio, and digital ads that were originally booked to boost masters in Arizona. They're now saying that Peter Thiel should pay for it, and he's already said he doesn't want to. Guys, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The more ads you don't have money to run, the happier I am with how it turned out.
Fair?
Yep.
The other thing is when you pull ads from somebody, there's a real clear understanding that the reason you're pulling them is because you think your money will do a better job elsewhere than getting somebody elected. It means you're losing faith in your candidate.
Good.
I hope that kind of, yeah, maybe. I may even sitting back too far. We'll see. What else have we got?
Was that all under the not be a train?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it seems like a bigger. Anyway, updates with Boomer Rex.
No, I'm looking at that saying, my God, that looks like a light at the end of the tunnel. And I've done that before. So, anyway, yeah.
Now, what's threatening us health-wise today, sir?
Well, we are, as we get warmer, it's not good for people.
No.
But part of the people it's not good for are students.
Yes.
And we have demonstrable drops in performance as the temperatures have gone up.
Yep.
This is not good.
Nope.
And so this is just another unexpected health effect from climate warming.
Yeah.
Just wonderful, huh?
No.
Yeah. We'll move on to climate
climate
weirding
weirding,
directly.
It's got to be pebble beds.
It's what?
DOE should give every building its own tiny pebble bed reactor. Some of them are going to open it up and they're going to die. I can't fix that
Yeah.
or
Oh,
stop
well.
that.
Yeah.
But no, because you're right.
Bring it in, make it part of the foundation.
Doesn't
Right.
that tell me I need air conditioning like 4 times the size of whatever we thought was previously? And the big problem is, right, transmission cost for nuke power is the problem.
So now instead
tiny.
of replacing air conditioner with a new one, you keep the old one as long as it's still running and add a new one to it to make
Kinda.
sure
Yeah,
you're extra
absolutely.
fucking covered.
Yeah.
This sounds like the better way to do it. And then when the old one does finally completely burn itself out, you put a new one. Now you have 2 instead of 1.
And you'll get
If
more
you
air
had a way
conditioning
to
in the
run
same
them in
footprint.
parallel, you can run the new one for its efficiency, and when you're dying of heat, you turn on the old one to do the
It
heat load.
boost it, yeah.
Yep. But no, this is going to be one of the things going forward. Is having decided not to do anything about climate change up until now, we're
Yep.
going to take the more expensive route.
Yep. Problem with nuclear is the same as it's always been.
Oh yeah.
I can probably run the plant safely.
Yep.
What the hell am I going to do with the waste? So, the good news is you burn up a lot of the really radioactive waste in the pebble bed.
All right, climate weirding.
Hey, you remember La Nina weather pattern, the one that makes folks starve in Africa and makes there be floods in the eastern U.S. and so on?
Is La Nina the one that makes hurricanes worse? Because
I
there's
didn't
La
know-
Nina and then there's El Nino.
Yep.
They're two. They come.
Like all Americans, we have no earthly idea what the fuck this is.
I
Just
used
weather
to
people
know.
started talking about it a lot.
I used
and
to know.
La Nina is a stream of cooler water in the eastern Pacific, right? Which moves where the water evaporates
Fair.
from and where it goes to. So we're going to have an exceptionally long one. We're going to have 3 cycles, which typically we don't get.
Excellent.
Typically it
No,
does La
isn't
Nina,
it
La
5
Nina.
years and then 5 years usually?
No, typically it's a year or 2 years and then a year or 2 years and then
Oh, the ball.
this will be 3 years in a row.
Yeesh. That sounds bad.
The tiny drums, the cat.
Cool. So anyway, again, it's just you thought you knew what the climate was. Your roads,
Yep.
your farms, your air conditioning.
Everything
were
was
all
tested for
based
that climate.
on the climate that you knew you had, and you don't got it no more.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
All the there are $400,000 homes all over the hillsides around Seattle
Yeah.
that don't have air conditioning
Yep.
because nobody needed it. Just open the windows.
Yep. They'll
You
install
know,
it. It's
the
fine.
high temperature for the year would be 92 for
This
an
is
hour.
where Europe had thousands of people die from heat
Yeah.
because there's no air conditioning in Europe.
Well, and it's why the hardline environmental kids for years have been tired of hearing Bill Gates and several of the other named humans talking about how, well, efficiency is going to barely keep pace with the changes we are going to have to make. And so, shit, right? We're not going to technocrat our way out of this until we start turning some wrenches and verbing some nouns.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to start taking
And they
money
don't-
from the ultra
this is
rich
another one
to
where-
fix this problem.
don't be perfect. Won't let perfect be the enemy of good. And at this point, the lower you can push the new infrastructure,
Yep.
right? Can somebody who owns a big building buy into it directly and not care if some big utility is doing solar or whatever? Does it do solar on your roof? Net meter them,
Yep.
and there's no way they can avoid net metering,
Yep.
right? Because you just use yours before you use theirs. That's easy to do, right? That's a $30 box.
Yep.
Well, there are some places in I want to say Africa, don't quote me on that, where they never had electricity, and how they're getting it now is solar.
Yeah.
And they have big batteries and stuff, and
Yeah.
so they can provide fresh, clean water and a little bit of electricity and that sort of thing, so that people can live better lives. And they've never had real electricity. They've only had solar, and this is changing lives.
When
Literally.
you've got your kids walking 2 miles to school, and
Sit
they've
on the
got
floor.
what?
To sit on the floor.
To sit
Yeah.
on the floor and try to learn, and they come home and they can't do their goddamn homework because it's
Yep.
dark outside. And 100-watt solar panel,
Fixes
a
that.
standard 12-volt deep cycle battery, and a handful of LEDs will light your house.
All things you pretty much have if the world's problems can get to you.
Yeah.
Well, and again, when you think about it, you only really need light in certain places, over a
Nighttime.
table, in the kitchen, over where you're cooking.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. You can
No,
live a
we-
good life that
we
way.
have spent years designing things like you can use an empty 2-liter bottle of Coke
Yep.
to conduct light into your house and stuff like that. This is quicker and easier, and you don't have to make the hole in the house. On the other hand, if the 2-liter bottle of Coke is working for you, right, now you only need half the solar power because you've got the daytime handle.
Yep.
But
So-
part of the thing that intrigues me with the concept of people cutting straight to solar is that with that, like, so you never need anything else. If you can use the solar and it works for you and you have minimal whatever, and these people never had the ability to have regular electricity made by coal or oil or whatever other means that electricity can be made. So they're totally skipping the in-between and going straight to
There are
best
countries
energy you
all
can
over the
get.
world that never had rural phone service. Now everybody has a cell phone,
Yeah.
right? So look around, decide what technology you can just afford to skip, and skip it.
Yeah. No, even my parents, who had always had landline, when they finally moved the last time, or well, before the last time, they dropped their landline. They no longer have
Yeah.
a landline because they realized we never used it. There's no point to it.
Yeah.
But they had for years held on to their landline because you never know. But the problem is nowadays, it's not like when I was a kid, if the power went out, you still could pick up a phone and call people as long as you didn't have an electric phone.
Right.
You needed to have one of the old school, pick it up and there's a dial tone. And
Yep.
so you could still make phone calls when the power went out. And they don't have that anymore. So
Thank you,
what's
Strategic
the point?
Rocket Command.
Even if you have a landline, most people have portable phones, which will not work when the power goes out. So you might as well stick with your cell phone, which
Yeah.
will continue to work. You can
What are we
charge
on
it.
about? Yeah.
You can charge it in your car. If you have spare batteries, you keep those charged all the time. You can always charge off that. I mean, that's how. So it's just interesting to see people making good decisions and
Yeah.
deciding that the extra $50-$60 a month or whatever isn't fucking worth it anymore. Nobody has landlines
Now
anymore.
you murder the fucking streaming services. All of them. If none of them are profitable, they'll fucking stop. They'll go back to Netflix.
Yeah.
Everyone was making money there.
Yeah, no. If you have anything other than Hulu and Netflix,
No, just get rid of all of them. Fuck it.
just fucking get rid of it. The only thing I have aside from Hulu and Netflix is my Crunchyroll. Because, but the funny thing
Because
is,
anime is wildly underrepresented on the internet.
sorry.
It's iTunes, only it Right. Apple has a chance of existing. Microsoft might give them another loan, but
No, it took me a while, but I understand. Anyway, we good?
yep.
Okay.
Now squirrels.
Yeah, now squirrels. So
I think they're rats.
let's move on, because I don't feel like that is productive in any form. Anyway.
I just didn't remember where the hell we were. So.
Yeah, no,
Squirrels
I
or
think
the
a little bit. We got a little bit off topic. Anyway, so I have a poll from MSNBC. Jeez, I can talk. That was shared on August 24th, 2022 by Chris Hayes on his show All In with Chris Hayes. In a clip on MSNBC's channel on YouTube called Special Election Results Show Voters Increasingly Reject GOP Extremism. So if you want to find where I got this, that's where it was. This poll has some interesting info that a little bit pisses me off because Democrats should know this. And the fact that we have not seen Democrats reacting on exactly this information pisses me off. So this is part of our Burn It Down Wednesday. So the question was, what do you think is the most important issue facing the country? Number one, at 21%, was threats to democracy, which is a very real thing that a lot of people are very concerned about.
And notice Joe Biden's gotten around to talking about that.
Yeah.
May have waked him up.
Yeah. So the number two thing at 16% was cost of living. I'm pretty sure we talk about that pretty regularly here. Number three at 14% was jobs and economy. Those two, the cost of living and jobs and economy, could technically be combined into one thing. A living wage. Jeez, what is the one thing that we fucking bang our goddamn heads about shouting on this show all the goddamn time? A fucking living wage. Even the Trumpies agree with this.
Yep.
Nobody has a problem with a living wage except people who make more than a living wage. Those are the only people that are whining about the concept of somebody who's lower than them in society might actually be able to live working at McDonald's. How could that be? That sounds
Madness. Dogs and
terrible.
cats living together.
Fuck
And,
you.
you have to compare that to the CEO of Starbucks, who makes about $640,000 a day. That's more than the lifetime earnings of the folks
he's
who work for
literally
him.
making money for fucking breathing
And he's fighting the
fucking
union.
you over.
Yep.
That's what he's doing. So anyway, number four at 13% is immigration. So, okay, people are a little worried about that. Climate change is at 9%, which is terrifyingly low to me. Below that, guns at 8%.
When people have-
Hey, Democrats, listen. Only 8% of Americans, specifically Democrats, I'm assuming, since this is an MSNBC poll, so the people that you're trying to talk to, the question, I remind you, is what do you think is the most important issue facing this country? Climate, or guns. 8 fucking %. Seriously, I need you to think about this. Nobody gives a fuck about guns.
Well, and stop babbling about banning assault weapons when you can't even define what an assault weapon is.
How about we wait until we see what the actual aftermath of the Republicans catching their pipe dream issue works out to be for them before we run really fast and catch ours?
So also at 8% is abortion, which I feel like is low. I feel like that's pretty low end of the dream pool on that.
Again, if you're having trouble feeding your goddamn family, you're not going to be worried about abortion because
Or anyone else's
No, but again,
problems.
yes,
let's
or
remember
immigration or any of the rest of that
Yeah.
shit.
16% cost of living and 14% jobs in the economy.
Yeah.
That is that is flat out a living wage. You can combine those two into one thing. That Americans need a fucking living wage, and Americans need America to work for all Americans again. End of discussion.
Well, and you only really give a shit about the value of the dollar if you have a big pile of them. Because otherwise we can inflate and do whatever we want bullshit math-wise, especially if Russia and China, we really have to push China to that side of the table, because I don't think Russia's going to work. Russia's going to be like terrorism worked for an existential threat.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just finish off these last couple things here real quick. Crime, 6%. Nobody's worried about crime.
The same people who are worried about guns are worried about crime.
Yeah. Other, 4%. So just random shit. Coronavirus, 1 goddamn %. Nobody gives a fuck about coronavirus anymore. We have all collectively moved on with our lives. Nobody talk about it anymore, at least until it becomes an issue again.
Yep.
So my point is, cost of living, jobs in the economy. Cost of living, jobs in the economy. Those are all covered in living wages and healthcare.
Yeah.
Living wages, healthcare, and you know what? Just for shits and giggles, let's throw on the mental health. Because let's face it, a lot of people are more worried about that than they're ever willing to fucking admit.
Yep.
So, fucking
You
shut
gotta
up,
have three,
Democrats.
it'd be
Listen
just
to
fine.
the polls.
It would be just fine to have health care and a living wage.
Yep.
That would make a great campaign. Democrats, wake the fuck up.
Yes, look at your own polls. Your own people are telling you exactly what they want. They want a living wage, they want health care, and they don't give a fuck about guns.
To the Chuck Todd level dipshittery that just natively exists in what somehow managed to pass through journalism school nowadays. This is not the time to slow down and wait for the Republicans to get their shit in order out of fear of a mono-party rule, and because that's what they're talking about. They're just dispensing with the bother of having to win an election.
Right.
Right. That is what the
Again.
field we're now playing on, which means you have to win, and then you have to make things happen that people will feel. Right. I would highly recommend rural healthcare. Whatever you were going to spend on guns, spend that on rural healthcare,
Yeah.
and you won't ever have to worry about elections.
Yeah.
Which is scary for a whole other ass reason, but
Yep.
No, when people ask you about guns, you say, that is not something we need to discuss right now. That fucking genie is out of the goddamn bottle. And we will not discuss it right now, because what really matters right now, the real reason why we're having all this crime and whatever, is we are not providing a livable wage for our people. We are not providing healthcare bills, put people in the poorhouse. You have people who consider themselves, you know, median income, who get totally fucked with healthcare bills.
it's a really long bumper sticker.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll have to do some work.
No, you
on
got to
it.
beat them on the cost of profitability.
No, we don't even need to,
Poverty.
because make Americans work for
Yes,
all Americans
absolutely.
again is all you need on the bumper sticker.
Yes.
Somebody fucking take that, please.
Yep. No, exactly. There's a million easier answers because the levers of government work way easier to deal with poverty than they do with violent tool usage.
Yeah.
If you are one of these people that is unhappy with how government is going, and you decide to go and put yourself in for helping out, that can be your slogan. Text us, call us, go on Facebook, BoomerRexTonight, no spaces, send us a message. We will support you. We will back you. You can use our slogan. Fucking
We're gonna
do
talk
it.
some.
Well,
but
yeah, we're going to have a discussion, but
Anyway,
in any case, it's important, and you need to fucking do it.
or don't.
Or don't.
And live in Mad Max. I'm sure you can, do it like tumble and stuff.
So in any case, we now have a picture to share with y'all. So for those of you who are on our podcast, switch over to YouTube. And I got some interesting shit for you here. Oh, good. Goodness gracious me, what is all this? Huh. This looks like some pretty important documents there. Does anybody know?
I told you they took it as an evidence photograph. You see the
Yep.
2A in front of it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
These are the documents that were in a little banker's box in Trump's office based on the
like the one over
Carpet
here
there.
on the right with the Time
Yeah.
magazines in it.
You know, is that a real-time magazine
It
cover
is.
or
It's a
one of his
cover, yeah.
fakes?
It is.
Oh, okay. So
May 4th,
anyway,
2019, May or March.
yeah, they were classified documents. He cannot have them legally. He removed them from the White House illegally. He stored them illegally. His team lied about having given them all up.
Let's talk about what some of these mean. So this one says secret SCI. What does that mean?
Sensitive SCI is sensitive compartmented information.
So top secret was already a crime. Like, it was already a big fucking deal that you had done.
Let's see. So we got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minimum, and this is just this one picture of ones that are labeled secret SCI. And then there are these ones that are completely blanked out, totally blanked out, because
Even the markings are that fucking classified.
yeah, just the label on them are so classified that you can't even see
It would be a
the
crime
label.
to publish it.
So what are these ones?
I'm
It'd be
pretty
a crime
sure.
to allow it.
Does anybody know what those really secret ones are? Labeled for sure.
Typically
Potentially
that kind of thing is for some sort of a special access program, where not even the name of the program is unclassified.
So these could be those nuclear documents that we've heard about, potentially.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen a version of that photograph that doesn't have the whiteouts.
There's no chance I'm putting that up there.
Yeah, no, we're
Okay.
not gonna share
gonna look.
that.
But in any case, on the photographs that I looked at, that designation, the secret, okay, that's the classification. The thing beyond it is it's an additional restriction. It's frequently called a caveat.
Mm-hmm.
The caveats on some of the documents that were visible in the photo I saw, the caveats made me sick to my stomach. So again, these are the SCI materials are among the most secret. So, and most kind of secret.
So just having these in your possession, no matter who you are, is considered a crime.
Well, and they're supposed to be locked in a special safe in a special room.
Only accessible by people.
Who have
Who have,
appropriate clearances.
And a need to
Right.
know. Trump lacks
Yes.
both.
So the problem is that all of these papers that you see here were being held literally in boxes like this one you see on the right. Okay, so this box with the Time magazines we discussed. This box, or boxes like this, were the only things containing this, and they were just sitting around in Mar-a-Lago, open to whoever happened to wander inside and maybe decided to take a peek, or Trump decided to brag about this top secret
Oh, here,
documents
look at
he
this.
had.
Isn't this cool?
So we don't know how bad this leak really is, because the fact that he had them for almost 2 fucking years, just hanging out in Mar-a-Lago, if this
I do
doesn't
not believe
scare
we
you-
have tight enough control on who went into Mar-a-Lago to have any reason to
Have any
believe.
reason to believe. That's going to be the bad part about this, is going through and saying, what have we potentially lost? And yeah,
All of it.
yeah,
If you don't start at that
right.
place, you're doing it wrong.
Now I remind you, this is just one picture. They took 11 boxes.
Oh yeah.
I think it was 10 or 11.
No, and this is a perfect example of why, for his morning intelligence briefing, the CIA was bringing things on charts, big
tablets.
charts and
He
tablets and
doesn't
stuff,
understand and he doesn't care.
He doesn't
because
take
they
the
were
tablets.
uncomfortable having it in the room with him,
Yeah.
because the son of a bitch would put it on his desk and wouldn't let him take it.
He's an old man. I'm pretty sure you can take it. Otherwise, they're sending
Right.
all the wrong kids to do the
They
briefings.
really are. Mr. President, I'm not leaving until you
Yep.
hand me that document.
Mr. President, I cannot leave this room until you return that document to my care. End of discussion.
So, a really simple thing here. Do you know what the simple crime this is absolute proof of?
Possession of?
No, that's stolen property.
Yeah, fair.
Oh yeah. That's
Every
stolen from the
classified
American
document.
people.
Yep.
Every classified document is the property of the U.S.
Well, and imagine
government.
this is what
Every
this is what
classified
so
document.
drives my insanity about the hypocrisy. Because if this were Obama, right, or Hunter Biden,
Yeah.
They'd be in jail.
they'd want each one charged individually.
Oh yeah. They'd all be.
Because
They'd be in
those
jail
are
already.
individual crimes.
Before
Yes, absolutely.
before we even started having this discussion, they would have been arrested. The house would have been searched top to bottom. The thing is that the FBI agents, when they raided Mar-a-Lago, knew exactly where these boxes were because somebody told them. Because somebody was like, "Oh, this is not okay. These
Not
shouldn't
going to
be
jail
here."
forever.
So that's like 31 or 32 felonies.
Yeah.
But again,
Just the fact that they.
anybody else who had anything close to this, the entire house would have been torn a fucking apart.
Oh yeah, we'd have shot your dog, maybe your kid.
Yeah.
There'd have been flashbangs. All of the negotiating would have said you in cuffs.
Once again proving that he can literally get away
That's
with
the point of
fucking
it.
murder because these documents could lead or could have potential to
Yep.
lead to the deaths of people who are trying to help America. We don't know what's on these documents. You can let your imagination run wild, folks. This is what he's doing to you. He doesn't give a fuck.
And here's why we're doomed.
You know, the other question that some of Trump's former advisors are asking is how many copies are there of those and where are they?
Yep.
Right?
I like the speculation I saw that said we should be checking his kids' houses.
Mm-hmm.
Like we should really. This should not be a quiet thing.
Yep.
No, the problem that we have is right now the establishment Republicans or whatever, the very quiet ones.
Yeah.
Will do and agree with almost anything to keep the base from turning populist.
Yeah.
So Democrats, we could cause problems by advocating some populist shit, which is
Damn
very
sticky.
popular amongst the people that work for a living in the Republican base. They're always telling us about it.
Yeah.
No, this is scary. From day one that I heard about this, it was scary.
Yeah.
And it gets scarier and scarier the more I fucking hear about it.
This was the kind of lackadaisical handling of classified shit I was worried about when we made a fucking reality television star president. But, I figured there'd be someone around to keep us on the guide rails. Fuck, I guess the Raptors got out early and
Turns
ate that
out
guy.
none. You want to ask yourself
They
where
had
the
chocolate
hell,
bars on them. The Raptors were on top.
where the
of
hell was Mark Meadows when this stuff was
Right?
getting kept?
Where's
it.
anybody?
Why is Lindsey Graham defending this?
Yeah.
Ask yourself these
Because
questions,
Lindsey
people.
Graham is a coward.
Right, but what
He's
I'm
also an
saying
officer
is
and a
that
gentleman of the United States, whichever.
this should be offensive to all Americans. If this doesn't make your blood boil, if this doesn't scare the fucking crap out of you, you're wrong. And I don't know how to explain it to you in any more clear terms than just look at the goddamn picture. Tell me, if you had any of this in your house, do you honestly think you'd still be alive? No. You would have been disappeared, if not murdered, when they entered your home to find them all. Fuck off.
Yeah.
He should not get special treatment because at one point in time, fucking bunch of dumb people in America voted him for president. On accident. Fuck.
All right.
Anyway, that's our
Yeah.
Burn It Down Wednesday, and I hope you fucking stood up and paid a goddamn attention. I understand that some of you voted for Trump because you felt like it was your only choice back in the day. That's fine. I get it.
Hey, we
But-
were in Hillary. We don't get
Yeah.
off free on that.
No, Hillary was
We found the
terrible.
one person.
And,
Yeah.
we had no fucking whatever. I understand what it is to vote for the person you think is the lesser fucking evil. But in this instance, he has proven himself
You do
to
have to
be
learn.
a threat to America. You, specifically, as a citizen of America, are at threat because of this information being Lord knows where. We have no idea.
You ran the Bush experiment again, and you got disastrous results.
What I'm saying is that, like us, when we were all, trying to help Hillary out, you should all feel ashamed. A little bit. And at the same time, what I want you to do is look at this picture and tell me that this is not a crime. Because you can't. Because it aggressively is. I don't care if he was a reasonable president, and yeah, he didn't get us murdered in a nuclear war. Good for him. Every other president before him did the same. My point is that you need to rethink why you voted for him and understand that maybe at the time that worked. It doesn't work anymore. He is a criminal. And this is absolute proof. You're looking at it right now on your screen.
Poking my thing.
Sorry. I'm just mad.
That's
Anyway,
fine. The computer didn't do it.
I agree. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, heart, follow, review. Smash that like button on YouTube. Go to BoomerRexTonight, no spaces on Facebook for fun memes and a link to our Patreon. Give us $1. You can find us on YouTube as BoomerX or check your favorite podcasting service for BoomerRexTonight. We can be found on over a dozen different platforms, including Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Samsung Podcasts. Hit us up on Twitter at BoomerRexTonight, and if you Google BoomerRexTonight, no spaces, all links will lead you to us. Also, go to RisenLadyHeathen on Twitch, and you will find me streaming Mass Effect right now. Love y'all, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night for more tomorrow night?
We'll find out.
We think we're going to do one. We'll see.
So we'll
It may
see.
be a short one tomorrow.
Yeah, either it'll be a short one or maybe it'll just be Asshole and I. But either way, you'll get a show tomorrow night. We love y'all. We'll see you
Maybe if
then.
you're good and you give us $1, fuckers.
Fuck Trump.